everyone, welcome back. Alex here with another episode for our level 2 of our mini Mario adventure game. And in this episode, I want to teach you guys how to add in that iconic red shell and have it move back and forth on the screen. So let's jump straight into Scratch. So here I am in Scratch, and if I start my game, I have Mario who I can run back and forth, and I have that iconic little red shell that's gliding back and forth on the screen. Now, it doesn't do anything to Mario yet. We're going to do that in the next episode, but today we're just going to add in that red shell and get it moving. So let's get started. Alright, so first thing we need to do is we need to actually add in that sprite for our red shell. So go ahead and add in your picture of the red shell. Once you've got your red shell added, I just want to start by putting in all of those little code blocks that I need to make my shell not show up on the screens that it shouldn't be showing on. So that's like when I first start the game on the start menu, I don't want it to show. When I start on the level 1 background, I don't want it to show. When I'm on the win or lose screen, I don't want it to show either. So go ahead and add all of those little code blocks in first so that we don't forget them later. Alright, so now we need to code our shell to move back and forth on the bottom of our screen. So I'm going to move my shell so that it's where I want it to start, which is on the bottom right corner of my screen. And then I'm going to say when our backdrop switches to this second level, so Mario background 2, I want to set my shell exactly where it is right now on that x-axis. So I'm going to go and scroll down and say set x to whatever it's already at. This 205 is currently where it is. So I want it to start over here at 205, so that's good. And I have to put in a show because I have all these hides here for when I'm on different screens, so he needs to know when to show up when we actually switch to this screen. So I'm going to go to my looks, and I'm going to add the show in there so that he shows up. And now what we need to do is we actually need to make a variable for our shell so that every time he hits a wall or it hits a wall, it changes direction and just goes the other way. So I'm going to make a variable for that. It's the easiest way to do it. So I'm going to go to variables and I'm going to make a variable and I'm going to make it for this sprite only and I'm going to call it speed. Okay, and so I don't want to see it on my screen, but you notice it says shell speed. That's because we made it just for the shell. So that's great. So I'm going to make it disappear by clicking that check mark. And at the beginning, I'm going to set my speed so that it's moving to the left. So if I want to move left, I have to use that negative. So I'm going to say -10 is my starting speed. And then we have to make it forever move that speed. So I'm going to go to my control. I'm going to say forever. I'm going to go to my motion and I'm going to say change X by, and instead of saying just 10, I'm going to say by speed. So now when I start, it automatically makes my shell go all the way to the left-hand side of my screen, and then it gets stuck because it doesn't know what to do when it gets there. So now we need to make it change direction and go back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for that if, and if I'm touching the edge of my screen, then I want it to flip in the other direction. So I need to change my speed. So I'm going to set my speed, and I need to make it opposite. I need to just flip that -10 to +10 to move to the other direction, to the other side. So to do that, I'm going to go into operators and we're going to use this multiplication, which is the little star. And I'm going to take my speed and I'm going to multiply whatever my current speed is. So if it's -10, I'm going to multiply -10 by -1. So -10 times -1 is +10. So it flips the other direction. And then when I hit the wall on the other side, it's going to be +10 times -1. And that's going to flip it to -10 to move the other direction. Okay? So we're just taking whatever our current speed is and we're changing it to the other way. So now if I start my game, it's going to get to the other side. And now it's going to keep going back and forth and back and forth. So that's all I've got for you guys today. We're just getting that red shell into our game and moving back and forth. And in our next episode, we're going to make that shell actually damage Mario. So make sure you follow along, subscribe below if you haven't already so you don't miss out. And we'll see you next time. Bye!